Good evening, fans. This is the man in a black mask, and he's here to read a story to you about the late rapper DMX, and he's also here to pay tribute to the rapper. Okay, and guess what I did? I stayed up all night watching his interviews and watching his videos. Okay, DMX dies at age 50. Fans, celebrities, and strangers, including myself, pay tribute to the fallen star. Okay, and so far it was one of the most somber nights, man, most saddest nights of my life. Me having to listen to his music and play his videos on YouTube and everything else. And I seen what such potential that he had. And it was just that the drugs and shit just got in the way. And yeah. So I'm just gonna, read this article to you from People and then share my tributes to the fallen star because I know I deserve that, okay? I deserve to lend the voice before it's too late. But he surely won't be forgotten. Just like Eazy-E. He's gone, but not forgotten. DMX dead at 50. Gabrielle Union, Eve, Missy Elliott, and more on a late star. You are one of one. This world has lost a real one, but the heavens have gained an angel. The Grammy Award nominee's longtime friend and Rough Riders anthem name is Carter Evo. Yeah, I remember the Rough Riders era. I used to watch DMX videos on BET, back when 106 and Park was still on the air. And I know a lot of you missed 106 and Park, including myself. The show closed, as you all recall, due to low ratings. DMX is honored by many after his death Friday morning. We are deeply saddened to announce today that our loved one, DMX, birth name of Earl Simmons, passed away at 50 years old at the White Plains Hospital with his family by his side after being placed on life support for the past few days. His family said in a statement to People. The rapper star and actor had been hospitalized and in the intensive care unit after suffering a heart attack at his home April 2nd. Now, this time last weekend, he was in the ER, but not now because, so he's gone. He shouldn't be, but he is. And a lot of you, including myself, are very fucked up over this. A lot of us can't believe that the extra man is dead. So this reminds me of Eazy-E back in '95. I remember hearing about Eazy-E when, he died of AIDS. Because at first, nobody believed that he'd ever catch such a deadly dreaded disease. Let alone die from it. But this DMX thing is just as shocking as Eazy-E's catching the AIDS. Earl was a warrior who fought to the very end. He loved his family with all his heart, and we cherish the times he spent with him, the statement concluded. Earl's music inspired countless fans across the world, and his iconic legacy will live on forever. We appreciate all the love and support during this incredibly difficult time. Uh, 1 minute. Yeah, several stars have expressed their condolences for the late rap legend since news of his medical emergency broke last week. Gabrielle Union, who co-starred with DMX in their 2003 hit film along with Jet Li, Cradle to the Grave, shared a warm message to the late actor. Now, this was Jet Li and DMX's second collaboration after 2000's Romeo Must Die. I'm not going to give out the spoilers, but I will say that DMX made a special guest appearance in Romeo Must Die, along with his late friend Aaliyah, God rest her soul. Now, this is what Gabrielle Union had to say on her Instagram post. She began her Instagram post on Friday writing, I was praying I wouldn't have to think about how to describe what you meant to me. We bonded over our shared love of dogs, cold beers, Golden Girls reruns, interesting, and New Edition and Adventures. Haha. Yeah, because I read somewhere that, her and X would watch reruns of Golden Girls together. Now, I gotta be frank with you. I'm still a fan of the Golden Girls. I'll still watch the Golden Girls, and I have been watching them ever since I was a little kid, ever since I was preschool age. So the Golden Girls is very personal to me. Why? Because my grandmother liked Golden Girls, and so did others before her. From random nights of go-karting in the hills of Sherman Oaks, California, to bowling, to just sitting in your chair laughing. with Anthony Anderson, talking 80s soul music. The Bring It On star continued. I'm glad Gabrielle had a lot to say because her and X was very close. Union was as close to DMX as close as X was to the late Aaliyah. And when Aaliyah died in the plane crash, boy was X pissed. Union concluded her tribute writing, "We always made the time to look out for both. I am forever grateful for your joy, your laugh, your protection all these years, and your hugs anytime I've seen you. You are one of one. Rest in eternal peace, my friend. Rest." Four black hearts. See, I'm going to show you. Four black hearts. And DMX's two-time co-star Jet Li paid homage to the late actor rapper in a tweet he shared on Friday. "Rest in peace, DMX, a true legend. It was truly my honor to work and get to know you." On Monday, just ahead of DMX's death, NBA champion LeBron James shared a heartfelt post about this stuff. He wrote on Twitter, "To one of my favorite artists growing up and still to this day, DMX, my prayers are with you and sent to the almighty heavens above." Former NBA star and Lakers alum Shaquille O'Neal had a similar message on Twitter writing, "We lost another legend, R.I.P. DMX." Now, Shaq's acting career never really took off after a string of flops. But X is dead. It's just that his addiction got in the way and his run-ins with the law. You want to know what's even more fucked up? He died in debt. -1 million, man. I'm like, damn, they must have did this dude dirty. I wouldn't wish this upon nobody. Let me find out those other people contributed to his death. Let me find out those fuckheads killed out. Now, all you remember what happened to Marvin Gaye back in '84. When he died, he was broke. Because a lot of that money he owed to the IRS. And, he just kind of fell off the bandwagon, and then his father later killed him. But this was X. Okay, his drug addiction deepened. I mean, he looked so good, too. And I've seen the video on YouTube of X and Snoopy doing a freestyle face-off. And he got another album on the way. And now he's not going to live long enough to see it. He won't be alive to see it. He's dead. Just like Biggie's Life After Death when that came out in '97. Guess what? He got shot before he could see the debut of his album. He got to promote it, but never got to see it be distributed worldwide. Same for Eazy-E's Straight Off the Streets of motherfucking Compton. Eazy-E died of AIDS in March of '95. The album, meanwhile, came out in November, during which point Eazy was long gone. Okay, let me backtrack to X. On Friday, Chance the Rapper shared a video clip of DMX that appears to have been captured in the early aughts, in which the late rapper opened up to a live audience about his relationship with these rappers for contributing to X's death. When people are going to start wondering who really killed DMX. If they could do that shit with Eazy-E and Pac and Biggie before him, they can do the same shit with X. Okay, this Chance the Rapper. Often my words fall on deaf ears. Motherfuckers be listening, but don't hear. Talking to them, and they sitting right there, and I'll be like, "Where you going?" They'd be like, "Yeah, the audience." Then laugh. But DMX was not joking. He did complain about the industry, though. I gotta admit, he had a falling out with the industry, and he happened to blame the industry for contributing to the worsening of his problems. The one problems that he was trying really so hard to overcome. But I gotta admit, though, fame is a fish. It will kill you in so many ways. Kill you financially, kill you mentally, kill you physically. I'm telling you, man, they're so unhinged in so many ways. And they're responsible for Britney being under that conservatorship, okay? Turning some celebrities into junkies to where they either died or went to prison. You know what I'm saying? And X became a casualty of war, thanks to the industry. Okay, and some of you are going to blame the industry too for ruining X's life to an extent when he already had stuff going on from his early life that he was trying so hard to overcome. But then the industry just kind of capitalized on that. in ways they shouldn't. I mean, it's sad how fame can ruin so many lives in so many ways, including exes. You know, make them junkies, make them crazy, make them criminals. And some of my friends have told me that they will never become actors or actresses. And they have labeled the music and film industry as, a fake business. Including this one chick that I spoke to who's about 4 or 5 years older than X. Chance then tweeted a quote from DMX writing, "Often my words fall on deaf ears." On Thursday, Def Jam Records, whom DMX re-signed with on September 20, 2019, shared a statement on Twitter speaking highly of the American Music Award winner. And this is what Def Jam Records has to say. Nothing comes close to the feeling you get when you hear DMX start praying. Every word hits deep. Even if you don't believe, you're inspired and encouraged. Send some of the same energy back out for him while he's fighting his way back to us all. Ahead of his death, the record label urged his longtime music listeners to pray for his recovery and writing. Send some of the same energy back out for him while he's fighting his way back to us all. Also, days before DMX's death was confirmed, T.I. and his wife Tiny each paid tribute to the late icon in a series of Instagram posts. In the video that T.I. shared on Monday, he wrote of the late hitmaker, "Another reason we need you, dog. Your testimony is priceless. Hashtag prayers up for DMX." The following day, the ATL star captioned an Instagram photo of DMX. "God is real, and prayer changes things." At DMX. "We're gonna pray for you like you've been praying for us all these years," said Bill. Hashtag prayers up for DMX. Several movie stars also commemorated DMX and his legacy after his death. On Instagram Friday, Viola Davis shared a black and white photo of DMX in which he was smiling from ear to ear. She captioned her post, quote, unquote, "Rest in peace, DMX. I pray for the comfort of your children and loved ones." E, who appears on DMX's remix to his smash hit song Rough Riders Anthem. Now, that was 1999 when DMX was at the top of his game, and he had just done this movie called Belly, which made $6 more million against his budget at the box office. Now, I didn't see Belly until it came on Showtime 2 years later. And I have this movie on DVD. And guess what? I just might order the movie Never Die Alone because I happen to love that movie. Anything with DMX, I'll watch. Because it's good that I have some of his movies. Okay? And I might burn some of his songs into a CD and just play the hell out of them. And I'm going to have a good time listening to DMX and watching his videos because he has so much potential, man. He was the dog of dogs. And this is the man in the black mask saying, "You are the dog of dogs." Okay? Rest in peace. Yeah. Now, Eve, you know, wrote, hashtag my dog. "I know that you are in a place of peace you deserve. I will be forever grateful to have known you. You are one of the most special people I have ever met, full of humor, talent, wisdom, and love, and most of all, loyalty. This world has lost a real one, but the heavens have gained an angel. May you rest." Yeah. I know he's having a Rough Riders party in heaven now, along with Aaliyah and Easy E and Pac and Biggie in them. Rest in peace to them too. I think E's anniversary was 2 weeks ago, so yeah. Insecure star Yvonne Orji shared a heartfelt post on Instagram as well. She captioned her post, "Dang, not the way I wanted Dark Man to go out. If you see me blasting the Rough Riders anthem all day, just let me have it. Hey, St. Peter, X is coming for you." In a series of tweets posted on Tuesday, a fan named Jennifer Fraser detailed a heartwarming encounter she had with DMX whom she sat next to during a flight. After they landed at their destination, the star even invited the woman and her stepdaughter to a personal meet and greet. That's sweet about it. Frazier vividly recalled his kindness and humility as the two chatted over racial equality, one of DMX's favorite aspects of performing, which was when fans held their phones up with their flashlights on, much like pre-cell phonias when fans held candles and lighters, and of course his family life, from his beloved grandma who had children, who had cancer, to his children. Yeah. Because his grandmother had cancer. She described the star as gracious and continue on, and that Simmons was on a talented artist, a loving father, and a kind soul. Fellow stars Ice Cube, Cameron Hall, Jussie Smollett, and Questlove are also among those to highlight DMX with posts they shared on social media. DMX, Nee O'Shea Jackson, wrote of the late star, sending warrior prayers to the homie DMX. Hall simply wrote on Instagram, "Greatness, DMX." Talk show host Lily Singh also opened up about DMX and the impact his music had on her life, especially throughout her adolescence as a young woman of color. On Instagram, Singh shared a quartet of photos of X posing alongside his late Romeo Must Die co-star Aaliyah, who died in 2001 at age 22. She captioned her post, "I'd like to share a few moments that really captured what DMX meant to me today and growing up. Throughout elementary school, I wore a Rough Riders necklace," she recalled. "Yes, a Harry Brown kid who thought she was the baddest in fifth grade. You couldn't tell me different." Speaking of the now iconic film released on March 22nd, 2000, she continued, "I probably watched Romeo Must Die 50 times because the magic on screen between DMX and Aaliyah was captivating, and I wanted to be legit. I wanted to legit be with them, be both of them." Well, yeah, she wanted to say, "I wanted to legit be them, both of them." I lost my voice many a time trying to do the iconic bark. I continuously failed, Sing joked before adding, "Thank you for your music and memories. Your style gave an awkward brown kid the confidence to walk a certain way. Today and always, we celebrate your life and legacy." Russian Power apps. Simmons famously honored the late Aaliyah in the posthumously released music video for her beloved song "Miss You." I remember seeing that video on BET on 106 in Park, by the way. The pair also teamed up for their fan favorite duet "Come Back in One Piece," which appears on the Romeo Must Die soundtrack. I just had to do that. Okay. On Friday, her mom, Diane Houghton, wrote a touching tribute to Simmons, which she shared on Instagram. She wrote, "Earl, you had and still have a heart of gold. You and baby girl will meet again with all the beautiful people we have lost. We'll never forget your kindness. Never. Blessings to your family eternal," Aaliyah's mom. And fellow filmmaker Justin Bieber wrote of DMX on Instagram, "Rest in paradise, my brother. Your gift was so obvious to us all. Thank you for sharing your gift to the world. You will be missed." Ah. Simmons' longtime collaborator Swiss Beats, meet Kasim Dean, who produced some of DMX's most iconic hits, shared a series of emotional tributes in the days leading up to X's death. On Friday, Beats posted a video that captured several moments the pair shared together. He captioned his post, "I'm truly beyond devastated, but I'm so happy my brother is no longer in pain. I watched him take everyone's pain and make it his own. I send my love and support to his entire family. My brother, we will never let them forget your name and you will live forever. FAME. Long live King, DMX the Great, aka my brother for life, Earl Simmons. Damn, dog. And on Thursday, the producers shared a video of DMX that was taken when the musician won an American Music Award. Beats wrote, DMX for life. You changed my life, King. My brother for life, the big dog. Love you, King. Switch Beats also attended the prayer vigil that was held on Monday near the White Plains Hospital in New York, where DMX spent his final days. Hundreds of DMX's loved ones and fans attended, including his children. Most notably Xavier, because I remember seeing him on Young Fix My Life, and, you know, I watched that too, I did watch some pieces of it on YouTube. You know what I'm saying? When X was at his most vulnerable. And then X and the Iyanla got into it. At one point, X told the Iyanla to shut the fuck up, stop running your mouth, blah, 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 blah. And I believe X that, Iyanla sabotaged him to an extent, made him look bad for ratings, which is what I'm in agreement with because I think Iyanla just botched the whole thing. I would believe that Iyanla preyed upon DMX because she knew that he was still struggling, and I think she basically made fun of him, made him look like a dickhead in front of the public eye. That's a no-no. Now, a lot of people hated Iyanla for what she did to X, you know, and I'm sure his son was somewhat affected by it too. But I'm glad they made up just before X died. I'm glad Xavier got to do this one thing before he had to live with guilt for the rest of his life for simply not speaking to his father and not being there, when he was sick in the ER. I'm glad he did the right thing. All right. On Twitter, several stars shared their condolences for Simmons, including Ava DuVernay, Halle Berry, McNeil, Chuck D, Chica Sumter, Ice-T, Missy Elliott, Ella May, Sheila Eve, Sky Jackson, Latoya Luckett, and SVA. The latter tweeted a sweet message writing, God bless his beautiful, powerful, anointed man. No, Robert Remick Williams revealed that DMX has been one of his role models in the music industry through the years. He wrote, R.I.P. DMX, one of my inspirations, especially with the bikes. Bring them bikes in. And filmmaker DuVernay reminded fans of the lead role the legendary rapper played in the iconic 1998 film Belly. She tweeted, one of my favorite performances in one of my favorite films was given by DMX. Belly. So Ava DuVernay likes Belly, and so do I. I like Belly, and I like Never Die Alone. Okay, Never Die Alone was like sad. Okay, I'm not gonna give out nothing because some of you have not seen those. Like that's shout to Ava DuVernay. If you haven't seen Belly in a while or at all, dip yourself with his talent in that film this weekend. R.I.P. DMX. Southside Review actress Sumter, who played former First Lady Michelle Obama in the 2016 movie, tweeted on Friday, DMX had every person on the dance floor thinking they too could rap because of Party Up. Rest in paradise, King. Thank you for all your gifts. The outpouring love, support, and admiration for DMX continued through the day. And it's still going on to this day. That's why I figured, why not, do a video on this, and let the man in black mask lend his tribute to the fallen star. If this makes waves, fine. If not, so be it. I pay my tribute and the story. Missy Elliott tweeted on Friday, even though you have battles, you touched so many through your music. And when you would pray, so many people felt that. This is heavy for the hip hop family, but your legacy lives on and your spirit, Elliott added. Continued prayers for X family and friends for strength/healing. Prayer. Iconic percussionist Sheila E. said of DMX, "This is a great loss. You are an amazing artist. You were blessed. You blessed so many people. Prayers to the family. Rest in peace, my brother." On Instagram, buddy, Macklemore, me Benjamin Haggerty, explained the significant influence in the late DMX had on his style of music. He even credited Simmons for introducing him. No, he even credited Simmons for introducing him to a way of therapy via the pen. Macklemore explained that X inspired him through his vulnerability and honesty. Okay? Like many, DMX was the soundtrack to an era of my life, the rapper wrote on Instagram. I have loved so many DMX records for different reasons and moods, but the one that always hit the closest was Slippin'. He vividly painted a picture of depression and isolation, which is what many of us went through, both as kids and adults, you know? This was way before this pandemic. He vividly painted a picture of depression and isolation, conveying emotion in a way that spoke to the spirit. It wasn't until later in life that I learned DMX and myself shared a common bond, the disease of addiction. Wow. You're saying so Macklemore, man, he too struggled with drugs, but I'm glad he overcame it. But the one thing that pisses me off was that DMX never had the opportunity to overcome his addiction. You see, when you start doing drugs, right, and you get sober, that temptation is always going to lie within you. Okay? Because let me tell you something. I have addiction in my family, mental illness too. Okay? One is just as fucked up as the other. So don't get nothing twisted, okay? And that's another reason why I'm doing this to you, because that shit is very close to me too, okay? So I too am expressing my vulnerability. And this is what Macklemore had to say. He inspired me to tell my truth, be a storyteller, and share wherever I was at. Macklemore revealed. There was no facade in which in what DMX brought to music. No airbrush image or intent other than to be him. You knew where he was at mentally, spiritually, and emotionally when you listened. He let us in. That is the greatest gift an artist can give their audience, because it opens up space for others to do the same. So that being said, X revealed his vulnerability in all of his music and in some cases his films. And just like the interview with Iyanla, you know what I'm saying? He was very vulnerable. He was in a dark place and he wasn't himself. But I feel Iyanla used him to an extent. She just fed onto the abuse and made him look like a dick. And I hate Iyanla for doing that. She did that to so many others too. And I'm glad she's leaving the show, fix my life. Also on Instagram, LL Cool J, me James Todd Smith wrote, "You did everything you came to do. You impacted the world. You went from the underdog to the big dog." I'm honored we got to work together, he added. "You are a unique soul, Earl Simmons. Your music will be here 1,000 years from now, and the fire, passion, pain, and positive energy you put into every word will always be celebrated, remembered, and enjoyed by our culture. Spark from the heavens, X. We love you, King." And this is what Oscar winner Common had to say. Grammy Award winner Common shared a special message to DMX in an Instagram post of the late star. "You will always be one of the most important ones in our culture, and your spirit will live on forever," he captioned his post. "You showed us how to pray in hip hop, and that God loves us no matter what. May God bless your soul." On Instagram Friday, NAACP Image Award winner Idris Elba shared a photo in which he smiled alongside DMX. He captioned this post, "RIP X," again with a black heart. He had a black heart in a good way. Because why? He showed his vulnerability. You know what I'm saying? He's the dark man. He's the dog. You know what I'm saying? Never fuck with the dog, man. The dog always has a black heart. But this was a good dog. The man in black mask has to say this. DMX, you was a good dog. A true alpha dog. Rest in paradise. Like, Pharrell Williams also shared his condolences for DMX on Instagram this sorrow. The space you saw in the beat, the pain you would squeeze out of the moment, and the words that would come of it makes you one of the best to ever do it. The master sent for his legend to sign with the rest of the stars now. Williams continued. DMX. No, Mariah Carey posted an adorable video of DMX and his daughter on her Instagram story, in which the dad-daughter duo appeared to be having a blast together on the famous Orlando slingshot ride at the magical Midway Thrill Park in Florida. And Flocky star Kelly Rowland shared a heartfelt Instagram post of her own, expressing her gratitude for DMX and his legacy. Thank you, DMX, for sharing your life, your gift with us all, she wrote. We are grateful for your time spent here. Prayers to your beautiful family. Her fellow Destiny's Child alum Latoya Luckett tweeted, a gift to the world, a prayer man, a king. Thank you, DMX. R.I.H. Rested, Heaven. Soon after Ben Stiller wrote on Twitter, I was a DMX fan. Authentic intensity and talent. Many hours of listening in my life. Sending love to his family, R.I.P. Charlie Wilson was also a longtime supporter of Simmons. The There Goes My Baby hitmaker and Got Band alum tweeted on Friday, sending prayers to DMX's family. Lord, help us stop these substances from taking the lives of our brothers and sisters. No, I think of substances, I think of Old Dirty Bastard. But guess how old he was? He was 35. He didn't even live to see 40. Son of a bitch. Anyway, if anyway, he went on to say, Charlie Wilson, he went on, say it with me. God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. RTBMX. God, this fucker's running slow, man. Yeah. So I gotta admit though, I loved DMX. I really did. I still do to this day. I'll never get tired of listening to his music or watching his movies. Never ever. I will forever be listening to DMX until my dying day. I will never get tired of listening to you, DMX. I love you. Love you forever. Yeah. I got lost in there. I have to find this stuff here. I have to find this here because my shit crashed. Uh, okay, hold on. Yeah, I'm almost there. Yeah. Uh, yeah. So basically wait a minute. Fuck. Hey, just hold on, okay? I'm having issues here. Oh, where are you? Uh, fuck. Yeah, I'm almost there. Yeah. Oh, fuck. This thing is you. They just couldn't. Yeah. It was that Charlie Wilson, and then the shit just froze on me. Um, okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I'm almost there. On Instagram and Twitter, Cinderella star Brandy shared identical posts in which she captioned, "Words can't describe DMX. Rest in peace, power, and love. We will forever be grateful for your inspiration and your art. Prayers up for his family and everyone who was touched by this loss." And holiday calendar star Kat Graham shared similar sentiments. She tweeted, "Currently listening to these icons. Rest in peace, love, and power, DMX. Thoughts and prayers to his family, friends, and fans." On the official Twitter account for the New Kids on the Block, the group expressed their gratitude for the late star. Now, let's not forget, among the New Kids on the Block was Mark Wahlberg. I'm sure a lot of you remember, and so did I. "We lost a huge talent today," DMX, they tweeted. "We were so lucky to have worked with him when he graced us with his talents on We Were Here. Rest in peace. Sending prayers to loved ones." Songstress Carrie Hilson honored Simmons with a classic photo she shared on Twitter, writing, "Rest in peace, DMX. I'll never forget the surprising impact you had on radio in the South during a time when the music was still regionally separate." Added Hilson, "I have many awesome memories attached to you. Thank you for your time here and for making it so purposeful, inspiring millions." And Mary J. Blige shared a photo that captured a heartwarming embrace she shared with Simmons. She questioned her post, "Come on, man. RP to one of the greatest." Yeah. So, yeah. I'm just saying, this is from me saying to DMX, you was a true alpha dog, the alpha dog of alpha dogs. You was a legend and loved by many. So, rest in paradise, Mr. X. Dark Man X rules forever. Now, the man in the black mask, he grew up listening to DMX's music and watching some of his movies, including Belly and Never Die Alone. Okay, I'm still a fan of those, and later on I'm gonna watch Belly, and then get on YouTube and watch DMX and everything else, his interviews and his videos and everything else, because the tribute is still ongoing to this day. Okay, make no mistake about it, the tribute is still here. So I guess my timing wasn't so bad after all, was it? But I will tell you, sure in hell, I'll tell you this: the public eye, the media has a way of turning celebrities into junkies. You know what I'm saying? Getting them strung out on drugs, saying fucking with them to the point where they go to jail or they get killed either by somebody else or from their own hand. And I gotta admit though, I think the media contributed to the worsening of the messes that, plagued DMX. The challenges that he had that ultimately led him to addiction. Because I saw one of those interviews on YouTube where X broke down when he talked about not only the time that his mother abused him at such a young age and how he ran away at night to get away from that bullshit that was going on at home, to befriend dogs on the street and everything else. But he also talked about this time when he was 14. This was like 84, 85. And meanwhile, this dude that X once looked up to was like 30. And he talked about how this 30-year-old gave him this drug that was supposed to be weed. And guess what? It had crack in it. That motherfucker gave him a crack laced Lucy. This ain't a weed joint. It had crack in it, and it really messed him up. You say he was 14. And then X quoted, how could you do that to somebody that's looked up to you? And there's a lot of people that will do that to you. Prey upon people that's already struggling. They want to get out of the bullshit, but you become a part of the bullshit. And like I said, so when he talked about that the most, he wasn't too affected. Well, I hope I'm not mistaken, but you heard little talk about the abuse that came from his mother, but it was mostly about that time that, he was forced to take a crack joint. And you see, that was just a kid. He was a baby. He was 14. You don't give a 14-year-old crack. The fuck is wrong with you? Let me tell you something. If that son of a bitch, right, any son of a bitch that ever gives crack to my kid, I would find him, I would stab him, and I would kill him. You understand me? I'd be in jail. You don't give drugs to a child, especially when he's already struggling, when he's already trying to get away from his abusive parent or parents, if not his siblings, and you're gonna get him high on fucking crack. I mean, come on, man. I think that man, if he's still alive right now or dead, I don't know. I don't care. But I know he contributed to X's death, okay? He's the reason why X spent his entire life as a junkie, okay? He gave that shit to X. He shouldn't have done that. And what my opinion is, I think X would never have done that crack had that man not exploited him. So that's how I know that it was not X's fault that he got hooked and that he had all these problems waiting for him a few years down the road and eventually his heart attack and death from that addiction. Trust me, they did that. That man killed him. But it took like 30 something years for him to accomplish that. He murdered X, got him high at a young age. Now, if you're listening out there, if you're still alive, hit us. Go fuck yourself. And I hope you burn in hell. You contributed to an innocent man's death, you piece of shit. Now, I would play DMX's song, right? But I could get a copyright claim on my video. And that's the one thing that pisses me, is this copyright shit. I could play Rough Riders, and a lot of you could have a ball to it or whatever, but again, this copyright shit keeps me from doing that, and I'm kind of sad and disappointed that I can't play this fucking music when I'm doing a video, you know? But I'm sure y'all will understand. But like I said, man, I'm just here to pay a tribute, you know? I loved him. I still do to this day, as much as I got Pop, Biggie, and Easy E, okay? And this guy, they didn't die from drugs. He died from disease. Pop and Biggie died from both. ODB, he died from drugs. But he was just too young in age. He was nearly half of X's age, when he died. 35, 36. I'm sure a lot of you remember Old Dirty Bastard when he fainted, at the studio, And this was like 2004, just 2 days before his birthday in November. Okay? He was 35 and would have turned 36. Okay? So yeah, I was right technically. But like I said, it's funny how the media can turn some people into junkies. And I also think of Jim Morrison and of The Doors. Val Kilmer played him in that movie. And drugs practically ran his life. And I also think of Janice Joplin when she did the song Crybaby. And this was the 70s, that time when a lot of rockers was ODing and dying, including Elvis Presley. And I can't believe we're still dealing with that shit right now. And don't forget, River Phoenix and Heath Ledger died from drug overdoses. Okay? I also think the industry had a hand in both deaths too. Same for DMX. Okay? Again, media manipulation. I also want the media to stop, using people's personal demons to make them look bad on national TV. And that's happened to X on a number of occasions. That's why he was in and out of treatment, in and out of jail and prison. And like I said, I think the media is partly to blame for X's, death and destruction. They preyed upon somebody that was already vulnerable from the shit that happened in his childhood. Now, I don't know where I would be if I was ever forced to do drugs at a young age, except for maybe dead or in jail. But who knows? I'm sure some of you have done drugs at young ages. Hopefully you aren't forced to. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully that you volunteered this and not somebody before you. But I felt really bad for X, man. When I heard that fucking story, I couldn't help but cry. Because they preyed upon somebody that was already weak and vulnerable due to child abuse. Okay? and he was in and out of jails and hospitals in his youth, and he got in trouble and got into fights a lot in school. And like I said, a lot of it was just trauma from abuse, and that drug shit was like the straw that broke the camel's back. Because again, I'm gonna say this: X would not have done drugs had it not been for that one piece of shit that forced him to smoke a crack joint, mixed crack with weed. I'm like, yo, I know a lot of you are scared, man. A lot of you are scared to death, thinking, what if this was my kid? This could be our kids and grandkids a few years down the line. So don't forget this old school commercial. Just say no. Say no to drugs. Drugs isn't the answer. Drugs will kill you or get you locked up. Leave that shit the fuck alone, man, and get help. Okay? And if you or anybody you know is struggling with addiction, call this hotline at 800-662-4357. And the suicide hotline, those of you that struggle mentally, especially with this pandemic, 800-273-8255, okay? And if I've inspired you to get help, you can drop a comment underneath the screen and say thank you, the man in the black mask. You can credit me for saving your life. That's even better. But I'm dying to hear from you, okay? I am dying to hear from you. So, anyway, I'm going to get back to watching DMX archives, Dark Man X, forever. Rest in peace, Dark Man X. And Rough Riders Anthem, I'm probably going to play that shit all night as soon as, if there's nothing on TV, I'm going to play that shit all night. And I'm going to have a ball. You bet. But if I do it here, I'll get a copyright claim, and say it's hard to think about. So, anyway, thank you for listening to the Man in the Black Mask, and rest in peace to the Alpha Dog, DMX. Okay? DMX. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and drop a question underneath the screen. And this week is going to be an all-week tribute to DMX, okay? So don't be surprised when you hear any more about DMX for the rest of this week, okay? And I would also like to see a school or a neighborhood or something named after him, because he was from Mount Vernon, okay? Because I got family up in Mount Vernon, so, this is very personal to me, okay? I won't say who, but I'll say I got family up there. So, again, thank you for your support, okay? If you have any questions, drop a comment underneath the window. Okay? Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for your service. Okay? And again, stay away from drugs. Okay? No drugs.